Data recovery has one of the sketchiest reputations in tech. Some swear it saved years of photos and work files, other people claim it recovers nothing while simultaneously wasting their time. The truth is that both sides are kind of right. So in this EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard review, I wanted to test which claims are actually true, what's pure marketing, and whether this thing is genuinely worth your money. First, what is EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard? And more importantly, what does it really do? EaseUS is basically a recovery tool that scans your storage devices for deleted, corrupted, formatted, or inaccessible files before that data gets fully overwritten. It's not hacker magic, and it doesn't recreate destroyed files out of nowhere. The software simply searches your drive for leftover data that still physically exists on the storage device. Now, EaseUS performs best in everyday recovery situations like accidentally deleted files, emptied recycle bins, SD cards, USB drives, and quick formatted storage devices. These are the scenarios where the software has the highest chance of preserving file structure and recovering usable data. For example, let's say you accidentally empty your recycle bin and realize afterward you deleted work documents, or even scarier, some gameplay footage. The horror. In many cases, Windows doesn't instantly obliterate those files. It mostly just marks the space as reusable. Recovery software scans for that leftover data before something new overwrites it. That's why noticing and reacting immediately are key. If you want to check out whether EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard will help you, there's a link to the latest deal in the description below. However, before moving on, we need to do a simple reality check. A lot of the ads you see online claim that data recovery works like that hacker magic I mentioned earlier. That's simply not the case. Data is stored on drives and takes up physical space, meaning it can be overwritten, deleted, and wiped out, even by actions you might believe should have no impact. That's why you'll always get the recommendation to do nothing more with the computer once you delete something important, not counting installing the recovery software, of course. All of this to say that how effective these data recovery applications will be will also highly depend on your specific scenario. Another caveat is that modern SSDs and NVMe drives use a technology called trim. When files are deleted, the drive can internally wipe the storage blocks extremely quickly, sometimes almost immediately, which helps with performance, but not so much with file recovery. So no recovery software, including EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard Pro, can magically recover files that the hardware already erased. Now you understand why online reviews for data recovery software are all over the place. The application itself is doing the same thing, but under different circumstances. One user can recover everything he deleted 10 days ago, while another can't recover the trash can files he deleted 5 minutes ago. Okay, with that out of the way, how does EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard work? First thing to mention, the interface is extremely simple compared to many recovery tools that look like enterprise software from 2007. Now, not to diss 2007, but I like my software to not require a separate manual to figure out how to use it. So, how to recover deleted files? Step 1 is just selecting the drive you want to scan. SSD, HDD, USB drive, SD card, external device, whatever the device lost the files. The scan starts almost immediately. First, it runs a quick scan. This looks for recently deleted files, intact folder structures, and recoverable file entries. It's very fast and works best for fresh deletions. Then the software moves into deep scan mode. This is the heavier recovery process, which scans storage sectors directly, searches for file signatures, and attempts to recover formatted or corrupted data. And depending on the size of your drive, this can definitely take a while, especially on multi-terabyte drives, when you'll have time to make a few cups of coffee or walk the dog. After scanning, you can preview certain recoverable files before restoring them, and that's actually really important because it helps verify whether the files are still usable. Some video files might look recoverable, but they're damaged, so you would only restore the file and it wouldn't actually work. You can also choose to recover only selected files instead of restoring everything at once, which would require even more time. And that's all the main stuff that you need to know on how to use EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard. One massive practical tip though, never restore recovered files back onto the same damaged drive. Always recover them onto another storage device. Otherwise, you risk overwriting even more recoverable data. Now for my own testing. To start, I deleted a few folders and was able to recover them pretty consistently. Photos, documents, and external recoveries were generally solid as well. especially on older HDDs and removable storage devices like USB drives or SD cards. Honestly, for beginner-friendly recovery software, the results were better than I expected in normal everyday situations. Again, if you want to test it out yourself, check out the deal linked in the description below. But when I tried to go deeper, EaseUS struggled a bit. If SSD trim was enabled, the recovery chances dropped dramatically. And the same thing happened when files were overwritten. Partitions were heavily corrupted, or the drive itself was physically failing. However, as I mentioned before, all recovery tools struggle with this. So what about pricing? EaseUS offers a free version with up to 2 GB of recovery, which is a good deal, useful for testing whether your files are even recoverable in the first place, and to possibly even be able to restore a few documents or photos. But realistically, if you work with video projects, raw footage, or game recording, the 2 GB data limit disappears extremely fast. Personally, if I were regularly dealing with important media files, I'd probably go with the yearly plan instead of the monthly one. Using files during YouTube production or editing work is honestly more common than people think, and recovery software only helps if you already have it available before a disaster happens, not after. One thing I'd like to see improve in the future is the preview feature. Larger video files, raw photos, or heavily corrupted files don't always preview perfectly in deeper recovery situations, so it can be confusing to determine what is truly recoverable. Overall, EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard Pro is the best data recovery software for PCs. Beginners and anyone looking to reduce stress in their tech life can easily use it with surprising results. It's not magic, it won't recover every deleted file on planet Earth, but for common recovery situations like deleted folders, formatted SD cards, or accidental deletions, it genuinely does a solid job. If you want to test EaseUS Data Recovery yourself, check the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. And let me know in the comments what's the worst file loss situation you've ever had, because I'm pretty sure everybody watching this has had at least one horror story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.